Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's Michelle. If you are new here, welcome. This is a little channel of just showing you things that I make in my journals, usually very colorful things. Thank you for being here. Today I tried a little something different. If you've been here for a while, you'll know that red and orange are not my colors. If you are new here, now you know. I don't enjoy working with red and oranges, but for this page, I thought, okay, well, the only way to get used to them is to actually work with them. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm working on the back of a page that I've done before. I did a little bit of a lace cut page, and I just needed to complete the back of it. This is in my small, I think it's called the Handy Size Journal from Marlene. I love these journals because you can take the page out and work on a flat surface. So it's not that you're trying to work on a bulky, in a bulky journal. My journals tend to get quite bulky, and I really love taking the pages out and working separate from the journal. I hope that made sense. So I started off with Ho Ho Ho, which is Marlene's red paint. Then I went in with Hot Curry, which is the orange. And of course, I had to add some pink, and I used Ballet. I'm going to do a little bit of reductive stenciling. You can see that I quickly squished my little baby wipe in between a rag that I have just to dry off the excess moisture. I find that if the wet wipe is too juicy, there's quite a lot of spillage underneath the stencil, so you don't get a nice clear impression. And so I do just dry it off. So all I'm doing is I'm swiping some paint onto my page with my finger, and then I put the stencil over the top and wipe away through the gaps with that baby wipe. I chose to put the paint on with a sponge because I'd already worked on the other side, and because it's a lace cut page, I wanted to make sure that I'm really careful not to get the pinks and the reds on the other side of my paper, because the other side was all purple. I think that was what it was. So I'm going in with Peony this time. It's like a dusty pink from Marlene's range, and I'm also doing that reductive stenciling, and I'm just going to add a little bit of mark making onto that background as well. I like adding this mark makings. It just breaks up the solid line of where the stenciling ends, so it kind of blends that stenciling into the background. And it adds a little bit of extra texture and color, and oftentimes I'll do these mark makings in white as well, just to bring a little bit of brightness to the page. I also decided to be brave and add a little bit more red, because again, I'm trying to get comfortable with uncomfortable colors. In the end, I don't mind the page. I think it turned out okay, but while I was busy with it, I couldn't say that I loved it, and that is purely because of my color choice. If I'd used my normal blue, pink, and purple, I would have probably loved it from the get-go, but because of the colors, it was not my favorite. But now that I've done it, I like the look of it. I don't think I'll be doing these uncomfortable colors very often, but you know, it's good to push yourself out of your comfort zone and try different things. Well, that's what the experts say. Okay, I'm going to go in. First I grabbed that cross stamp from the, I think it's called the ticket stamp set, and then I did that with black archival ink, And then I also went in with another little cross stamp from one of Marlene's mark making stamps, and I used some white paint from a paint pen, and I just dipped my stamp in that and popped that white on top of my mark making that's already there. So I was looking and looking and looking for a focal image on this page. Again, I think it's the color that threw me off. So I grabbed out a couple of things from my Paper Elements book. I think in the end I didn't put anything other than a quote on here, to be honest. So while I was just thinking about it, to keep my hand moving, I used this same stencil, and I used that little triangle bordery bit at the bottom, and I just created a little border around my page. This really was, I think, because the red was so much and the orange was so much, this is my way to try and contain it onto the page. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I felt like there was a lot of red and it was spilling over everywhere, and I was just trying to contain that color, I guess. And then I'm going to just go into the open bits from that stencil and add some white. You know that I love a good black and white stripe border, black and white dots. So this made me really happy. And I guess I was also just trying to keep my hand moving while I was thinking about what focal image I would use, or thinking about a quote or something to put on this page, because obviously this is just a background now. It doesn't have anything really to it. And in the end, I decided to use this quote that says, creativity is not a competition. And I think that is a quote that we should all live by if we make art. And at the bottom there, I also wrote there, not for me. So for me personally, creativity, doing art, it's not a competition. I'm not competing with anybody. I am just here making fun things, doing what makes my soul happy. And that's kind of also the journaling that I'm doing now. So I'm just turning my page here and there and everywhere, and I'm writing with a white gel pen just about my thoughts and feelings about how creativity and making art for me is a personal thing, and I'm not out there to compete with anybody. The not for me didn't stand out so well, so I went over it again with black, and I think I did maybe do a white highlight. Oh no, I didn't like it. So I'm covering the whole thing with black, and then I'm going to write on that black strip with white, so it kind of looks similar to the quote. And that was a little bit better for me. And yeah, that's it for the page. So no focal image on this one, just the quote. I finished off with some white splatters, because splatters are always fun and happy. And I'm giving it all a quick dry, and I'm going to pop that back into my journal. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know in the comments, what are your challenge colors, the colors that you don't love creating with? And hopefully this page did inspire you to make your own page using your uncomfortable colors. All right, I will be back again soon with another video. Thanks for being here. Bye.